You didn't want me to say much for the introduction, so I won't, but I will invite you to join me in welcoming to the platform our Mayor, Paul Antonio. Would you do that?
Thank you very much, Casey, and ladies and gentlemen. It's always a delight to stand here behind this lectern to see so many people here. And this means a lot to me personally. I think it means a lot to the community as well. Can I acknowledge my council colleagues here and Dr. John McVeigh, the federal member, and of course wish him the very best this coming weekend as he faces the challenges. But ladies and gentlemen, to our senior staff who are here, Brian and Mike, but to all of you, when I stand here and look out, it tells me a story about Toowoomba. It tells me a story about a wonderful, compassionate place. It tells me a story about people who are prepared to come out very early in the morning, give their time, give their money for a good cause. And I thank you very much for that. But I can't let this occasion pass without just looking down at the men and women in blue who serve us in the police force, knowing full well that in a few weeks' time we'll be remembering one of their great colleagues we lost so tragically. Our thoughts and our prayers are with you, and may I, on behalf of this community, thank each and every one of you for the service you give. Would you please give them a round of applause? Ladies and gentlemen, the Mayoral Prayer Breakfast is part of that rich tradition you very often hear me speaking about. We are very blessed, in fact, to be part of this amazing region. This breakfast was started way back in 1993 by the then Toowoomba City Council Mayor, Ross Miller. And Ross will always be remembered by me for a couple of things. Firstly, the Mayoral Prayer Breakfast, but also for a man who had the courage to save the beautiful Empire Theatre in very, very difficult times. And I will be eternally grateful not only for the theatre, but the lesson that he taught me as I look back to have the courage to make the right decision. Those days, the first breakfast was about drought relief. And unfortunately, those of us who come from the land and those of us who have relatives on land know far too much about droughts and the familiar cycle of droughts. And I think in a day like today, our thoughts and prayers must be with those primary producers, those businesses and those communities who right across this area and right through New South Wales, right through Victoria, are still suffering from that terrible drought that just doesn't seem to want to go away. The breakfast will remain a key forum for the Mayor of the day to channel support back to worthy causes. And this year, I've made, I think, a great choice. The funds raised will go to Eva's Place and they'll go to Hear and Say. A cash injection will go a long way towards aiding clients who are seeking pregnancy support services or families who are looking for guidance and aid for children with hearing loss and its associated listening and speech challenges. And I'm delighted that this morning we have reps from both those organisations here, and can I, on behalf of each and every one here and on behalf of the community, thank both those organisations for the amazing work they do in such a wonderful way in this great community. Our region is fortunate to have dedicated professionals and volunteers who help people across a broad area of health and allied services needs. Apart from face-to-face meetings, many of these services can provide the more remote people with services via teleservice. A little kindness certainly goes a long way, and I think each and every one of us in this room realise that giving gives you a lot more satisfaction than receiving. But ladies and gentlemen, your presence and your support is the real driving force behind the ongoing success of this breakfast. A breakfast that's raised $290,000 over 27 years. I sincerely thank all the suppliers and the other supporters who have contributed to every aspect of staging this function and preparing the meal. I would ask you to have a look at the program, and you will find that these people are listed there. Many of them have been backers from day one. As you read the list of suppliers and supporters, please welcome them as being very, very generous people who have been so loyal to this event and have given so much. Would you please give them a round of applause? But ladies and gentlemen, I would love to run some figures past you. This breakfast this morning, 350 small tomatoes, 100 apples, 60 packets of muffins, several hundred sausages, 600 hash browns, 70 kilograms of bacon, 90 litres of milk, 600 mini croissants, 40 litres of vanilla yogurt, 600 eggs, 600 cups of orange juice, and of course many, many hours of careful preparation by the TAFE students long before the sun rose today, and also they worked yesterday. Can I particularly offer my thanks to the chair of the organising committee, Pastor Andrew Hoey, and the committee members Jim Asper-Morgus, Anthony O'Dempsey, Sean Rooney, along with the team from TAFE Queensland, Southwest Hospitality students, our students and teachers from St Joseph's College, St Saviour's College, and of course our own staff in Kate Torns, Angus Moffat and Robert Goulds. I also thank today's performers and speakers for sharing their talents and sharing that wonderful story. But on a very special note, ladies and gentlemen, there are occasions when you need to talk about somebody who is a bit special. There is a lady here called Barbara Worshing, and she's here with us again this morning. This time, not being part of the organising committee, but certainly showing her respects and coming along to just have some special time here. Barbara has attended every function, but this is the first time that she's not guided the hospitality students at St Saviour's College after retiring in 2018 with some 34 years service to her credit. Barbara continues to help in the hospitality field at the Youth and Community Learning Centre. So Barbara, thank you for your commitment to your previous role and especially to this community event. Your record of service is an outstanding example, but many others to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give Barbara a big round of applause. I very often speak about Toowoomba being a compassionate community. And of course, when you look at this place and when you realise just how fortunate we are to live here, and when you see people like Annie Cathcart here telling that story by way of prayer, you realise that we are very blessed to live here on top of the range in Toowoomba. Many people make this community a better place. And I think we're very thankful, and we must every day remember how blessed we are to live here, not only in Australia, but particularly in Toowoomba. This morning, I'm terribly delighted to welcome two other compassionate local leaders as our guest speakers. Husband and wife team, and I think this is the first time this has been done. Kate Venables, Southwest Queensland Director of Catholic Care, Social Services, and her husband Cameron, who is the Anglican Bishop of the Western region. Both these passionate people have made a tremendous difference to this community, and they represent to me the sort of people who we depend on as a community. Passionate people working together, particularly working together, are the secret success, efficiency behind any organisation. And I don't care whether that's a church organisation, a social organisation, the police force, or even the organisation that I lead. Passionate people who care for their community, working together as a team, will achieve a lot more. Kate and Cam Thank you very much for sharing your personal experiences in a moment and for the difference you have made to your organisations and make people's lives so much better. Can I recognise all those of faith who serve the churches here, and each and every one of you? It's interesting that in the last couple of weeks I've had the honour of going to St James Church to recognise the 100th anniversary of the laying of the foundation stone in that church. On last Sunday, with Bishop Robert, I was out at St Monica's Catholic Church in Oakey, where we celebrated the 100th anniversary. Just for a moment, consider the input of those churches over those years to this community, and how much poorer would we be as a community if we didn't have that faith-led Christianity in our area. How much poorer would we be if you extracted what the Christian churches do here? So we're very fortunate to live here, ladies and gentlemen. Can I thank you again for being here at this, the 219th Mayoral, 2119 Mayoral Prayer Breakfast. Thank you for your support. I just missed a note, Jeffrey, I heard you laugh. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for your passion for this community, and the funds raised today by you people will go to a wonderful cause. Thank you very much.